When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. Izuku woke up from his slumber. About 3 weeks has passed. Metropolis is still recovering from the attack from Brainiac. Izuku got dressed and left the safe house to look around the city. The city did take a lot of damage. Crap, my favorite coffee shop got totaled. Lovely. While Izuku was checking out the city, Lex Luthor had a woman scientist in one of his labs. Try that again. As you see Lex Luthor and a scientist woman in one of his labs in LexCorp, where you see 2 pods with the number 17 and 18 on it. At the same time, somewhere in the vast space, out in vast space, as you see a white and purple alien in some sort of mothership, drinking on his little throne with drinking wine. How close are we to Earth? Lord Cooler, if we stay on this course, we should be in the Milky Way galaxy in about a month's time frame, sir. Very well, I can wait. I'm looking forward to my confrontation with the man called Superman. I've heard many stories about him, and I'm intrigued. Even though I'm intrigued by this Superman fellow, we're still on the clock. Once we make it to the Milky Way galaxy, head to the red planet in their galaxy. I believe it's called Mars. We need to make sure that the seal hasn't been broken. My family has maintained the seal for that monster for generations, and I will not allow the seal of Majin Buu to be broken while I run my empire. As he continues to drink his wine, hopefully that angel was telling the truth, that I might find someone interesting besides this Superman. As we cut back to Earth, where Izuku is still walking through the city of Metropolis, while Izuku was just exploring the parts of Metropolis, he noticed his cell phone started going off in his pocket. As he put the receiver over his ear, "Is there something you need, sir?" As the cell phone was in the safe house, so just to let you guys know. "I need you back at the lab." On my way. As Izuku take flight and made his way over to the lab where Lex is currently at. A few minutes later, when he arrived at the lab, the 2 guards allowed him entry. They clearly know who he is, so they were more than willing to allow him in to the lab. Izuku saw Lex Luthor talking to some sort of scientist. By the look of her, she seems to be quite young, a little older than him, but still quite young. "Good, you're here. This is Miss Rosefield." It's a pleasure to meet you, Izuku. I've heard some good things about you. I have some business to attend to, Izuku. You are under Miss Rosefield's command. Protect her and her project at all costs. Sure thing, boss. As Izuku and Alice watched Lex Luthor walk away. Why don't you come inside? Izuku followed Alice back into her lab. Izuku immediately took notice to the two pods. They're pretty big, with the number 17 and 18 on them. But he really didn't pay too much attention to it after he first saw it. As he begins to look around the lab, seeing all sorts of equipment. So how long you been working under Mr. Luthor? For a few months, surprisingly. He pays me. After all, he kind of forced me into this position. Sounds like the boss. His message might not be the most righteous, but he means well in the long end. His heart is in the right place. He just wants to improve humanity in a whole. Don't get me wrong, I hate the man, but I respect him. There's one thing I learned being around Mr. Luthor. He's a very driven man. He's willing to do what needs to be done. It's kind of hard not to respect that. That is true, Izuku. Thanks for not bringing my age up. Most people do. Why would I do that? Most people look down upon me because I'm only... Well, I'm not going to reveal my age, but let's just say I'm a little older than you. And I'm a super genius. I've already gotten 8 degrees under my belt. Most people in the science community don't take me seriously because of my age, but Mr. Lex saw some potential in me, so I've been working under him for about a year now. What are you even working on here anyways? My pet project, using the Infinity Engine. With some help by 2 volunteers, I created Android 17 and 18. These androids will be able to fight and never get tired. The volunteers had some sort of uncurable disease, so I offered them an opportunity to live. I gave them the offer and I told them the process of what I'm going to do to their bodies. By changing them into androids. Technically, the term would be called cyborg, but I think android sounds better, so I don't really care about semantics. This is beginning to... this is bugging me ever since I first saw you, Izuku, your hair. What type of dye do you use? I don't use hair dye. This is my natural hair color. Seriously? That's cool. Your hair color matches the color of your eye, so makes sense. It must be some sort of genetic mutation. Do you happen to have one of these quirks I've been hearing about? No. So that rules out quirk mutation. I definitely want to take a look at your DNA. I want to figure out why your hair color is that way, and your eye color is as well. I find it quite a fascinating to look into. Do you mind if I get a sample of your blood and maybe a couple skin samples? Izuku normally would have outright refused her, but he's also curious about his hair color himself, so he played nice. Izuku has had experience guarding scientists before. They normally would have ordered him around by now, at this point, and she's been very pleasant towards him. So he allowed her to get some blood and some skin samples. Izuku watches the young scientist immediately go checking out the DNA she collected and the skin samples through an electrical microscope. Fascinating. What did he find? Your DNA strands. I see some similar strands you would find in felines. I see them all throughout your genome. You're definitely human. Impressive work. Who spliced your DNA? To my knowledge, I was born in a district in Japan, then I moved to Gotham City afterwards. My DNA hasn't been modified, to my knowledge. If you weren't directly altered by your DNA, then the only reasonable answer is someone from your family line had some sort of modifications. It probably didn't affect the line until you were born. That's just my theory on my part. Don't take me seriously. As much as I would like to run more tests with you to see what type of effects this DNA splicing to your body has, but I have to put I have to put a pin in that for later. I have to get back to work. If you need anything, just speak up and I'll get it for you. One day when Izuku was guarding Alice in her lab, an idea popped in his mind over the past 3 weeks. He's been thinking about it. Over this time he's been guarding her, the two of them formed a friendship between each other. Hey, I've been thinking, Alice. Shoot, I need a break anyways from all this coding. What's on your mind? I've been thinking about this for about a few weeks now. It's just a theory, but it should be possible with your intelligence. This probably would be an easy task for you to make. Thank you for the compliment. I do appreciate it now and then. You have quite a talent there to cheer up a girl. But I'm still shocked that you're still single. You're bringing that up again. Pretty much. You're smart, you're intelligent, you're very good looking, and you're able to compliment a girl with a pure intention, just to cheer her up. Even though you have a cold facade, I've seen you interact with the other staff. I could tell from that you're actually a decent guy. If I wasn't engaged, we would be having a different conversation. If we kind of got off topic. Please continue. That we did, Alice. Let's get back on topic. What I was trying to say is, if a room can be created a room that can be created with some sort of gravity engine to increase the gravity in the room. Sort of gravity manipulation device. I could probably figure something out. May I ask why you've been thinking about this for so long? Training. Sounds interesting. Sounds like fun too. All right, I'll do this because you're my friend, and it sounds very, very interesting. And your body is much tougher than a normal human. I don't think there will be a major problem considering your health. After all the scans I've done on you, you're currently built different. Why don't we call it a day today? I need to get some sleep. I've been working on this all night. I'll see you in about, let's say, about 5 hours. And just relax. I'm not leaving the building, so you don't need to worry. As long as you contact me if you do leave the building. Your protection is my responsibility. Jesus, I will. You worry more than my own mother. I might not care about most people, but I do care for my friends. I'll see you in 5 hours. Izuku walk out of the lab to rearrange the security patrol around the building and inside the building. The next few days were routine. Izuku did Izuku did his normal routine, guarding Alice in her android project, while she did her coding. The next day, he walked in while Alice was about to activate the androids for the very first time. Good, you're here. I'm about to activate them for the very first time. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if the process altered their mindset. Well, during the process, turning them into androids. I do have a backup plan. I do have a device in my lab coat that's able to deactivate them if they get aggressive. Alice wastes no more time and begin to activate Android 17 and 18 from their pods as the pod door slowly opens as steam comes out of it as it reveals two teenagers waking up from their slumber as they step out of the pods. Where are we, sis? Oh, I remember. I feel different somehow. Stronger. I like this. I feel the same way, brother. We should probably talk to the doc. She's over there with that guy with a different color hair and eye color. Right, he's new. I don't think I've met him before. It seems like we're in some sort of laboratory. We're clearly not at the same place when we were placed under sleep. Hey, Doc. I guess it was a success? It's Alice, not Doc. But it's nice to see you again. It should have been successful. We're going to have to run a few tests. We understand, Doc. As Alice rolls her eyes at the dog comment. Me and my sister are grateful for what you've done for us. I know we can't go back to our old lives, but we have another chance here. We'll follow your lead for now. Brother said it's true. We owe you, so we'll stick with you for a while. And who's this? This is my personal bodyguard and the head of security at this laboratory, and a good friend. He's been helping. He'll be helping you as more of the physical test. Combat oriented test. To be more specific. You want us to fight him or something? Much, but we'll deal with that later. Please. Just call me Alice, like I said before. Do you want me to use your old names, or do you want to make some new ones up? Both siblings look at the pods, then they look at each other, as they both look at Alice. Well, sorry. While they're looking at each other, they nodded, then looked back at Alice. Just call me 17. It's easier that way. Very well. Sit. I have to get a few things from the other lab. That's down the hall. I'll be right back. Izuku, was it? As 17 gets closer to Izuku, as she looks him up and down, from head to toe, with her index finger under her chin. What's your deal? Hey, 18, give the guy some space. Sorry about her. She's always been like that been that way. But we are both curious what your deal is, so spill, man. 17, don't be rude. And people call me rude. Sorry, 18, my bad. I was just curious. You seem to be around our age. After your inquiry, there's nothing much to me, 17 and 18. I'm currently working for Lex Luthor. Not by choice, but I run security currently for this lab. At least the guy pays me, so it's bearable for now. We did have a bit of excitement before you were awoken, but it's been taken care of. Been kind of boring, really. Nothing really exciting happening, at least for now. It probably won't last long, knowing this city's reputation. City are we even in, anyways? Metropolis. It's in America. Wait, we're in America? I never really liked Japan anyway, so I got an idea. You're gonna show me around. No. Excuse me? What do you mean, no? I said no. Even if I wanted to, I don't have the time. 18 remained quiet and started biting on her fingernails, trying to figure out a way to get him to show her around the city. She honestly just wants to tour around the city and thinks the guy is cute, so that's a plus in her books. How about this? You want to make a bet? Type of bet, as Izuku raised his right eyebrow upwards. When we do our physical sparring test, if I manage to hit you more than you hit me, then you take me out on a tour around the city. And take me to a decent restaurant for lunch. Can you even eat food because we're androids? That's a good question. Can I? As 17 is pondering that, completely spacing out from his sister's conversation with Izuku. Shut up. Shut up, brother. I don't care. Don't get in my way. Jesus, you're scary. I feel bad for the guy now. Excuse me? Say that again. I didn't say anything. What I thought. Now, what do you say, Izuku? Interesting proposal, 18. What do I get if I win? Good question. I never thought about it. Ah, I got it. Brother. Sorry. I got it. You get my brother's motorcycle. You get my what? No, that's not happening, sis. No way in hell. I'm losing my baby. Without even looking at her brother, she raised her palm and started to charge up a ki blast, ready to fire at any time. Thanks, sis. As 17 starts to laugh nervously as he has his hand behind his head. He noticed the new change in his sister. She's never been... Right again. 18 is laughing nervously with his hand behind his head. One of them, at least. He noticed the change he's been going through ever since he's been changing to an android. And he clearly noticed the changes into his sister. She's never been so aggressive before. It unnerved him. Or they were androids. His sister, 18, was always the shy girl. It took him by surprise, the 180 in her personality. Mere phone, 17. As 17 passed over his phone, then opened it up and showed him the picture of the motorcycle. As 18 showed Izuku, self a deal. As 18 and Izuku shake hands on it, I'm looking forward to the tour around the city. Are you now? That I am. I'm going to win, naturally. And Even though you're attractive and cute, I'm gonna beat you down regardless, though. To break your little bubble, but I'm going to win. 17 watches this scene go on as he literally sees sparks shooting from their eyes at each other while staring each other down. Don't get me wrong, Izuku. You seem like a cool dude and all, but my sister is gonna kick your ass, man. I would hate to lose my motorcycle, but it's gonna happen. I could never beat her in our dojo before we got sick. Well, it seems like all three of you are getting along quite well. 17 and 18. Here, put these on. These bracelets will monitor and transfer all the data to my laptop. As all of them walk through the building, as they enter a humongous room where a track and field reside. They redecorate it to look like a track and field, basically. The first test I'll be going through, I want you to run around the field until I say stop. 18 and 17 nod at that as they begin to run the field immediately. For your own good, when you fight 18, Izuku, I kinda hope you lose. How much did you even hear, Alice? All of it? 'Cause it was so entertaining. That's why. And judging by how 18 looks so determined, you're gonna have a hell of a fight on your hands. Izuku watches 18 run laps, passing 17 several times. Shit. She looks pretty determined, and I don't think that's going away anytime soon. Oh, crap. I'll give her credit. When she really wants something, she gets quite determined. Made sense. She won many tournaments for her dojo back in Japan before she got sick. It's definitely going to be an interesting show. 3 days later, the entire 3 days, 18 would intentionally, purposely try to annoy him. The day of the battle test finally arrive. As you see, a pure white room has been heavily modified to withstand quite a bit of damage. So how do you want to do this? Who wants to fight first? I'm up. Izuku and Android 18 walk into the middle of the room. White pure room. 17 and Alice go to the observing area. As in the room, there is a big electronical scoreboard to count each strike they land. They would get a point, as the electronic scoreboard would keep track of everything from the cameras when they land a strike. Izuku and 18 get into their fighting stance. Ready to take me to a nice restaurant for lunch? Keep dreaming, 18. Without warning, Izuku and Android 18 rush towards each other. 18 threw out a fist towards Izuku. Izuku ducked under her fist and tried to land a right hook, only for 18 to block it with her knee. Izuku jumped up in the middle of the air and did a spin kick, only for 18 to block his kick with her forearm, then landing a palm strike onto his chest, making Izuku slide backwards from the force of the impact. 18 has a smirk on her face. What's the matter? Can't keep up with the girl? 18 and Izuku both hear Alice over the intercom telling him 18 managed to land a hit. It's basically she's already won 2 points already. Any hit from the face or chest are 2 points, and the rest of the bodies are just 1 point. Izuku refocused back into his fighting stance and immediately rushed forward as 18 and Izuku block and dodge each other's attacks. Izuku dug under 18's kick and sweep the legs from underneath her. While she was mid-fall, Izuku landed a kick in her stomach as she goes flying backwards as she redirected her body, making herself flip in the air and landing on her feet. Izuku finally landed a hit. Unfortunately, it was only worth 1 point. 18's already in the lead so far. Izuku decided to get more serious as he made several after images of himself as 18 lands several blows. Izuku lands several blows until 18 dodged one of his attacks by leaning backwards a little bit, then slamming the bottom of her palm, striking Izuku with a palm strike across his face. Both separate from each other. I guess I should take this more seriously. 18 increases her speed, just testing out her new body. She's got a handle of it by now. The bursts of speed and strength surprise Izuku. Izuku's having a hard time keeping up. Somehow he's able to keep up with her long enough to land a few strikes and kicks when he saw a opening. As you see, Android 18 dodge a fist and grabbed onto his wrist, and then she flipped him over her shoulders and slammed him onto the ground. As she get on top of him and pin him down to the ground. With her she pinned him down with one hand and used the opposite hand to create a key beam ready to fire at any moment, pointed at his chest. I win. Fine, you win. I concede, as much as I hate it. I've already noticed the scoreboard and the time's going out, so you won this bout. Mind getting off me. Why would I do that? I kind of like where I'm at right now. As they sit there in that position for a few seconds, until she got up and extended her hand out for Izuku to take it, as Izuku grabbed onto her hand and as she helped him up to his feet. I expect you to be at my quarters 8 o'clock sharp tomorrow morning. I'm quite looking forward to the tour around the city, and I'm relieved that I'm still able to eat food. So, I hope you pick a nice place to eat lunch. You might excuse me, I have some things to take care of. As Android 18 walks off, with a satisfied smile on her face. It's a shame I didn't get a crack at you, but at least my motorcycle is safe. Thank God. Nothing plans to go anywhere anytime soon, so it's only a matter of time before Alice puts us into a sparring match. That is true. Word of advice, man. It would be in your best interest. Not entrance, but best for you to keep her in a good mood. My sister has become a lot more aggressive, and she scares the shit out of me. Come on, let's go hit the city. I don't want no tour like my sister. I just want to hit an arcade. Been cooped up over here for far too long. That actually sounds like fun, actually. I know a place we can go. Alice and 18 watched the two boys walk away. Aren't you going to go with them? I'll let my brother have his fun. I'll have Izuku to myself tomorrow. See, you took a liking to him. Suppose I have. You're coming with me. Where exactly are you taking me, Alice? I take it you want to impress Izuku tomorrow, so let's go get a few things. While Alice and Android 18 go shopping, Android 17 Izuku hit the city where they went to the arcade where the arcade is at in Metropolis. Teen is standing in front of the closed sign. What happened to this place? Like half the walls are missing. Well, that's a bummer. Only place I know is out in Gotham. I know you can fly, right? Sorry, I know you can fly. Let's no, sorry. He wouldn't really know. He could fly. 17. Are you able to fly? Sure can. So where we're going? Hit a arcade I know in Gotham. Izuku took flight alongside with 18 and towards the direction of Gotham City. It didn't take them long to get there, about 10 minutes, to, to fly from Metropolis to Gotham. As they land in the city in front of a big arcade filled with people, 17 did notice everyone in the arcade are staring at a huge monitor. It is some sort of virtual reality arena. Izuku, can you explain that on the big monitor? That kind of looks like fun. I think 17, I think that's a virtual reality arena. It must be new. This wasn't here when the last time I came here. Let's go check it out. It sounds like fun. Tell me twice. Izuku walked up to the counter and deal with all the virtual reality that deals with all the virtual reality signups and making their their avatars. As Izuku and 17 register, Izuku was quite surprised by the fee, but it was affordable for him. He forked up $200 for both of their applications and made their avatars. After they created their avatars in class and scanned their likeness, making their avatars, this virtual reality game is based in medieval times with swords and magic. Luckily for both 18 and 17, they picked a character that have access to sword techniques and magic. Only spell they know or on their spell list is your typical fireball and a few sword skills. Nothing too fancy. It's just a beginner spell and sword skill that everyone gets when they pick their classes. As you level up, your class learns new abilities and spells. Well, it looks like we're all set up, and it looks like you're up. 17. This is going to be fun. As 17 goes into a separate room and sat on the chair, and some sort of head device was attached to it as 17 lowers it over his head. As his character loads up, as he found himself in a waiting room in some old-fashioned stadium, checking out his gear, he chose light armor, so he has flexibility and a sword, a one-handed sword, basically. Izuku is waiting for the match to begin. He is unaware that the Teen Titans are here playing the same game. I'm here to blow some steam off from the events of Metropolis and Brainiac. Their team deserves a nice break. 17 walking through the arena as he's fighting against Cyborg from the Teen Titans. His character's the knight character, wielding a huge battle axe. I admit, this virtual reality stadium is pretty cool, pretty impressive technology, and pretty realistic. Agree with you there, man. Ready to fight? I want to get this started. Third thing, as Cyborg gets ready to fight, as well does 17. Cyborg rush towards each other, as both of them rush towards each other, as Cyborg swung his huge battle axe at 17, only for him to roll underneath it and land underneath his battle axe and shoot several fireballs towards Cyborg, only to see Cyborg get hit by one of the fireballs, then shield the rest with the blunt with the blunt end of the axe, blocking the fireballs. Not the blunt, but the side, basically, what I'm trying to get at. Teen did notice he's blocking his fireballs, and unsheathed his one-handed longsword. 17 is fully aware his opponent is using a battle axe, so it would not be pleasant to get hit by it. Luckily for him and Cyborg, this game doesn't simulate pain in any way. Figures that weapon would probably take out a lot of his HP, a good chunk of it. So he did the most logical thing, and to keep an eye on it. As he pressed the attack, began dodging the battle axe and counter-attacking when he can. Let's see how fast this character model can move. As 17 is moving with increased speed, dodging the battle axe, every time he would swing his battle axe at 17, he would land his own attack on Cyborg. He was able to adapt to the situation, managed to swing his blade hitting or blocking with his long sword. You're pretty good. At least your character is, but you forgot. As he extend his hand outwards towards his opponent's face while he has his sword against his throat. Crap. Oh crap. Nice playing with you. I win. As 17 immediately unleashed a barrage of fireballs into Cyborg's face repeatedly until he ran out of mana as Cyborg HP reached to 0. As they both exit the match, as 17 finally took off the little helmet thing and got back to the main entrance where he sees Izuku. 17 noticed he did get some sort of experience. He's definitely want to try this game out more. Try to level up his character. As he walks back towards Izuku, that was actually really fun. I mean, it does look pretty interesting. I gotta admit, it was pretty interesting watching you fight. Your match, you sure kicked his ass. I'm famous for. I'm going to head in. It looks like they're calling me in the next match. See you in a little bit. As Izuku walks into the separate room to sit in a chair and place the head device over his head, and he found himself in the virtual reality settings of a arena. As he checks his character stats, he's a level 1 elemental warrior, beginner spells, fireball, weapon enchantment spell, as he could infuse his weapon with fire. As he knows, his fire sword does have some extra effects, does burn damage and all that. Once he entered the arena, he saw his opponent with a long metal bow staff as Robin stares down his opponent. When the two entered the arena, he noticed his opponent immediately got into a fighting stance. As Izuku raised his eyebrow at that, but he didn't mind. No banter. He's not much of a talker anyway, so he unsheathed his blade, his long sword, and got into a swordsman's stance. Surprisingly, everyone watching, he actually knows a swordsman's stance. Robin can tell he's had some sort of training with the sword. Izuku would take kendo lessons in his spare time in Metropolis. There is a small dojo he spends his time when on his days off and any free time he has. He's well versed in the art of the sword. Once they got okay to once they got the okay signal to immediately start the match, they immediately engage each other, as you see Izuku dodging the metal bow staff, blocking it when he needs to with his sword. Well, I don't think he has his sword out right now. I'm not sure. Just say, yeah, never mind. I just remembered. Yeah, he does have the sword out. As he dodges and blocks it with his long sword when he can. They back and forth attack each other for about 10 minutes straight. After Izuku swung his sword, his opponent blocked his sword by using the bow staff. They both jump backwards. Immediately, Izuku, while in the motion of jumping backwards, Izuku immediately repeatedly shoot off fireballs at his opponent as Robin begins to dodge around the fireballs so he doesn't get hit. Izuku wasn't too surprised that his opponent dodged the fireballs the way he did. He seemed to be well trained in fighting. With his index finger across his blade as he activated the fire enchantment magic on his blade, as the blade caught fire on the blade, basically. Because he combined the fire with his sword, he unlocked a new skill when he swung his sword. He's able to create fire slashes that would shoot at his target. The moment he swung his swords towards the direction of Robin, fire slashes shoot towards Robin. He barely had enough time to dodge and roll as Izuku rushed towards Robin and simply swung his sword downwards going down from upwards in a cutting motion, cutting right through the bow staff, then landing a kick into Robin's chest, making him go rolling backwards on the ground. Izuku stabbed his sword into the dirt and cracked his knuckles as he walked towards Robin. As he stops, as he gestures Robin to get up with the bring it motion with his fingers, as they begin to engage in a hand-to-hand combat, blocking each other's blows, Izuku ducked under Robin's leg. Then he gave a kick to Robin's... Sorry, try it again. Duck under Robin's kick. Then gave Robin a spin kick as Robin goes flying backwards. Izuku walked behind his sword in the dirt and kicked it up in the middle air. Then kicked the handle as it goes shooting towards Robin, piercing through his avatar in his stomach as Izuku placed his foot on the handle of the sword, extending his hand outwards towards Robin's avatar face, immediately shooting fireballs in his face repeatedly. Once he was done, he pulled out his sword of his stomach as the match ended with a very brutal winner. Once Izuku got out of the room, into the main room, once he got that room and went into the main room, where the monitors was at, as he walked up to 17, was watching the fight. Man, that was quite brutal. You got a mean streak on you. Are you sure you haven't played this yet? I played this game before. It was my first time, regardless if I'm fighting for real or in a game. I show no mercy. I don't pull my punches. If we fight in there, I will utterly destroy you, 17. See about that. I'll try not to embarrass you too much when I ultimately win. As they both realize that they're in some sort of tournament, they enter by pure chance. As Izuku finally brought it up, it seems like we enter some sort of tournament, how the bracket works and everything. I just realized that too. Who wins this tournament, 17? And I wonder what the prize is, who gets first place. it looks like they're starting the next match of 17. 17 and Izuku continued to watch the next couple of rounds until 17 was finally called upon again. He goes back into the same room, put the device back on his head, as he found himself in a similar stadium, come face to face with a female opponent. 17 sees a black hair girl. By the look of her avatar seems to be quite pale. 17 knows she must be some sort of magic class. Finally, you're here. Let's get this done. Very impatient girl. I'm only playing this because Star wouldn't stop bugging me. So let's start this already. Wish, my lady. As he bows in mocking pose. Even glare at 17. She didn't take kindly to that remark. Because 17 was irritated from this guy, she immediately started casting lightning spells, trying to hit 17, while 17 is dodging the electricity. Stop jumping around and just let me hit you already. To do that would be no fun. You have to do a lot better than that to hit me, princess. She increased the rate of her casting lightning magic, or the lightning spell, because she picked the Mirror Mage class. It costs less for her to use magic. Raven is trying her best to hit the smartass. When she noticed she was just wasting mana, she stopped her attack. She has been fighting... She knows how to fight hand-to-hand combat, so that's what she does. She got close enough to 17 to engage him in hand-to-hand combat, and she landed a kick into 17's stomach as he goes sliding backwards a little bit from the impact, as 17 lost a good portion of his HP because of that. Now that's what I'm talking about. Things have become a lot more interesting. I see you like it rough. As he has a smirk on his face, as Raven's rolling her eyes, he threw his sword to the side as he rushed forward, as he sees several nasty-looking lightning spells heading towards the direction. As he jumped in the middle of the air and did a spin kick, a spin upside down over Raven, casting 3 fireballs, surprising Raven. She was too late to activate her magic ward to block the first fireball, but she managed to absorb the rest of them. The ward is a beginner spell, basically a magical shield. After the 2 fireballs hit her, she noticed her HP is at 50%. She lost a good amount of health from those 2 fireballs. He technically casted 3, but only 2 landed successfully. 17 landed on his feet behind Raven and dodged to the left as he sees Raven's fist passing by his face by mere inches. As they begin to exchange blows with each other until Raven was ultimately defeated, making 17 the victor by landing several punches and kicks with the occasional fireball for extra damage. That's where we're going to end it right here. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Enjoyed my time zones, and I hope everyone have a good 4th of July. Even though I know some of you don't live in America. So, catch you guys later.